would you look at that? It's a mother freaking Martin Scorsese game. From the publisher of Lords of the Fallen and the developer of Nat Geo Adventures Lost City of Z comes Shutter Island, the adventure game. Join still PNGs of Mark Ruffalo, Ben Kingsley, and Max von freaking Sydow for a riveting tale of crime and trauma, solving an intricate web of disappearances on an island hospital for the criminally insane during an intense storm, where the protagonist may uncover more than he bargained for, like a comb, or some coiled wire, or a high voltage sign. Folks, what we've got here is a hidden object game. Now, hidden object games in general are cheap and easy to make, and therefore an obvious vehicle for licensed properties. Bear witness, for instance, to not one, but two Murder, She Wrote games, or Coronation Street, The Mystery of the Missing Hot Pot Recipe, which I'm required to mention to appease the terminally British part of my audience. Often this means low-effort, bottom-of-the-barrel casual garbage with dull, quickly slapped-together art meant to steal a couple of hours of your time through nothing more than inane pixel hunting. But sometimes, like in the case of the works of Polish developer Artifex Mundi, the games contain gorgeous backgrounds, a wide variety of puzzle types, branching paths, engaging stories, and honest-to-goodness adventure game mechanics, with still the occasional inane pixel hunting thrown in. Don't let the trappings of the genre fool you into thinking it delivers nothing of value, is what I'm trying to say. But how does Shutter Island fare then? Well, as far as hidden object games go, it's pretty limited, unfortunately. There's little interesting interactivity to the scenes, no cabinets to open or drawers to sift through or furniture to move aside. Just a background and some poorly scaled objects placed onto it. Also, for some reason, lots of numbers. Numbers everywhere. A single number plays a role in the film's main mystery, and the devs just freaking ran with it. Also, while the main locations of the movie are here, the backgrounds get reused a lot. I think I've looked for random garbage in this particular room at least 6 separate times. Maybe more. There are a few honest-to-God actual puzzles, none of them particularly challenging, though the game is kind enough to just let you skip them after a little time has passed. As far as mood goes, sometimes it kinda hits, to be honest. It sufficiently recreates a modicum of the movie's gothic atmosphere. There's this totally out-of-place jump scare. It can be a bit spooky in the dark tunnels. There's some legitimately unsettling background screams near the end of the game. It's just a looping sound effect, but what can I say? My brain is not a fan of hearing the sounds of suffering for some weird reason. That's why I'm sparing you too. The backgrounds look okay, I suppose. Got that CG render with some quick Photoshop detail look, but they are entirely static. The actor portraits are hilarious, obvious stills from the movie, or maybe promotional shots. The only big omissions are Michelle Williams, who is replaced with a stock photo of some other white lady, and Leonardo DiCaprio, who is instead depicted as a US Marshals badge that only dates other badges under the age of 25. All of this makes the game come across as particularly cheap, which is strange, isn't it? Like, is this a licensed product, however cost efficient it may be, or a promotional item, a piece of marketing, a free game you play in your browser where you solve a puzzle or two and then get shown the trailer? The menu contains a "in theaters February 19th" screen, but the copy I have of the game even came in a cardboard sleeve, a feature only reserved for the most exclusive of game releases. And it features the entire story of the movie. Well, it kinda does. The game roughly follows the plot of the film, introducing a few more escaped patients you have to find in between Teddy Daniels' quest for the truth. But the film has a famous twist ending, where it turns out Teddy is actually and all the while, and this game doesn't do that? In fact, it barely does anything with the ending at all, really. So good on it for not spoiling the twist, but then why does this game exist at all? Who's gonna play a promotional game that takes almost as long as the movie it is advertising, but is laughably worse at telling 90% of the same story, takes away all of the subtext and drama, and doesn't even have any voice acting? The thing is, the movie, and I suppose the book it's based on, is already structured kinda like an adventure game. You got our protagonist moving from location to location, collecting clues, sometimes getting misled, sometimes finding shocking revelations, all leading up to a final climactic confrontation at the top of the island's lighthouse. This game does nothing with that. It just takes certain memorable locations from the movie and recycles them over and over again. I'm not gonna blame the developers for this though. I'm pretty sure they didn't know whether they were working on a real tie-in or just boring marketing material either. So, Shutter Island. It's mediocre as a hidden object game,
a big foolish spectacle,
as an adventure game, which is what it calls itself after all, but hilariously bizarre as a movie tie-in. I'm so happy to have this piece of crap in my collection. I'm kinda hoping that idiot executives will make more Scorsese games in the future. I would genuinely enjoy a Goodfellas game in the vein of The Godfather or Scarface The World Is Yours, even if it is terrible. Or maybe a casino management sim, or a Wolf of Wall Street clicker game. Anyway, don't play this game. It's a cute curiosity, but there's nothing worth seeing. It adds nothing to the experience of watching the film, and I have a distinct feeling Martin Scorsese wasn't at all consulted during production. Maybe a Last Temptation of Christ first-person shooter then?
Freak you! Freak you!
Aileen Bob.
Freak you!